शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। तत्वबोध, read Vasudevendra Yogendra.
सूक्ष्म शरीरम किम?
Vasudevendra Yogendra. Vasudevendra.
ओके। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्वबोधो विधीयते।
सूक्ष्म शरीरम किम?
सूक्ष्म शरीरम किम? अपंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुख दुःखादि भोग साधनं पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंच प्राणादयः मनश्च एकं बुद्धिः च एका एवं सप्तदशा कलाभिः सह यत्तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्म शरीरम्।
We have seen what is gross body. Now the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. It is made up of 5 elements. Of course, gross body has to come over. So gross body has seen. Now the subtle body, it is made up of 5 great elements, Pancha Mahabhutas. But before the process of Panchikarana, these 5 elements are in apanchikrita form, non-grossified form, what is called as tanmatras, or their nascent form. It is born of punya, as in the case of this gross body, satkarma janyam. That doesn't mean only punya. Papa also is included there. So it's the result of both papa and punya. And in contrast to gross body, subtle body is bhoga sadhana. The sadhana, the means, an instrument of undergoing bhoga, means experiences, whether joy or sorrow. Gross body was bhogayatanam. It was a place, an abode where sukha dukkha experiences Joys and sorrows are experienced. But what is that instrument? What is that means which actually give us the experience is the Sukshma Sharira. And it consists of Pancha Jnanendriyani, five sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch. But these are not the gadgets in the external, in the gross body. They are receptacles. This is the actual faculty, the subtle faculty in our eyes, which enables us to see, hear, taste, touch, smell, like that. So it consists of five faculties of perception, jnanendriya, then five faculties of action, karmendriya, then five pranas corresponding to physiological functions, mana and buddhi. Mind intellect stands for mana, buddhi, ahankara, chitta. So taking mana and buddhi are two, totally 17 aspects are there. It includes ahankara and chittam. Totally it becomes 19 as such. That is what Sukh Sharira is. Now, in this, Pancha Jnanendriyani was told. So this text doesn't take any word for granted. It explains us what it enumerates what they are. Now, what are these Pancha Jnanendriyani? They are now being enumerated. Continue.
Shrotram, Tvak, Chakshuhu, Rasana, Granam, Iti Panchajnanendriyani.
So these are the five Jnanendriya sense organs, organs of perception. Shrotram, sense of hearing, ear. Tvak, sense of touch, that is the skin. Chakshuhu, sense of seeing, eyes. Rasana, sense of taste, tongue. Granam, sense of smell, that is nose. Iti, these five are Jnanendriyani. Now, these five Jnanendriyas have got their corresponding functionary or called Adhisthana Devata at the totality level in the body of each and every one of us, including in those of animals to some extent, rudimentary level. These five are there, they function, but they are only a minute portion of the functionary at the totality level called Adhisthana Devata. The question arises, what are the Adhisthana Devatas of five Jnanendriyas in our body? See, we consider ourselves as great as such. Truly speaking, all faculties in us are from Adhisthana Devata. And those faculties in Adhisthana Devata are because of Ishvara. And there that faculty is because of Brahma with its creative power, Maya or Prakriti. Continue.
Shrotrasya, Digdevata, Tvacho,
Now the first one
Vayu.
is Shrotra, ear. What is its the presiding deity, Adhisthana Devata, Dik Devata. Dik means quarters, but here the Adhisthana Devata corresponding to quarter. Adhisthana Devata corresponding to quarters. Dik Devata. Continue.
Tvacho Vayuhu.
Tvachaha Vayu. In the case of sense of touch, the skin, it is Vayu, the air. Now here it is not physical inert air. Its presiding deity is Adhisthana Devata. It is Vayu Devata. So also here, Dig Devata. It is the deity that is referred to, which lends the power of audition to ear. Is that Dig Devata. Whereas Vayu Devata gives the power of ear, that is touching, sense of touch to the skin. So Tvachaha Vayu. Chakshushaha Surya. The presiding deity of eyes is Surya, not just solar orb, but its Adhisthana Devata. Chakshushaha. Rasana, now see, you should keep in mind, in the case of Dik quarters, which corresponds to space, water is belong to space. And with Akasha, we have seen the unique feature Akasha is sound. In the case of air Vayu, not only sound but also sense of touch. Akasha doesn't have sense of touch. So Vayu has got both sound and sense of touch. Fire, 3, form comes there beside the other 2. Like that, these are the features of that, and in that, one is a unique feature. Sound for unique for space, touch unique for Vayu, and form unique for fire, taste unique for tongue, water, and smell unique for earth. So that being the case, these are the deities which enable for such perception. So there was Chakshusha Surya. Our eyes are blessed by the sun, Surya. Rasanayaha Varunaha. Rasana, tongue, sense of taste. Its presiding deity is Varuna, Jala Devata. We know the unique feature of water is taste. Granasya Ashvinau. The sense smell, Ashvinau, the Ashwini Kumaras, twins, who are the heavenly physicians and surgeons. Not ordinary. The surgeons may not. Even they can transplant the head, not isolated heart, kidney, etc. The head, think of it. So they can transplant, retransplant. They have done it. In Prasad, we get such proof. So therefore, Ashwini Kumara, these are the presiding deities. Iti Jnanendriya Devata. Thus, the five sense organs, five sense perception, Jnanendriya have been enumerated. Eyes, the ear, then skin, eye, tongue, and nose, with their presiding deities. See, these presiding deities bless our embodiment with these corresponding faculties, so long as the karma phala allows this body to continue. Once the karma phala of this body is over, these Adhishtan Devata, they withdraw their power. The result, our external gadgets, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, may be visibly in a sound condition, but they don't have capacity to perceive. That's why you must have seen this. Of course, nowadays not possible. People gather around relatives, a dying person, to find out at what stage it is. And so, can you recognize me? What does it mean? Can you see me? And is the mind functioning? Can you hear me? Yeah. Nowadays not possible because everything you have. I see you with ventilator. Good opportunity for the hospital to make money. Long back I read a report. In the US, the most profit that hospitals can make is on ICU for such people. Keep the breath going on and collect the rent on that hospital. So that is how it is. Of course, nowadays law is that relatives can say that no more required, etc. But again, it's a big problem because it becomes a sentimental problem. Somebody say no, let him continue. Somebody say no, let her remove, etc. It depends on the individual. They make will also, I think. Okay. So this is just to assess whether Jnanendriyas are functioning. If they are not functioning, means what? They may not know that, they may not know what it is. Adhishtan Devatas, according to the Prarabdha Karma, have withdrawn their faculties from that particular embodiment. So these are the Jnanendriya Devata. Now, what is the function or object? See in how detailed the text moves. Function or object of each of these Jnanendriyas. We know because we are familiar with that, but the text has to tell what it is all about. Shrotrasya Vishayaha Shabdagrahanam. Iti Jnanendriyataha, so are the deciding deities of the sense organ. Now, as for ear, what is its function? What is object? Shrotrasya Vishayaha Shabdagrahanam means hearing the sound. Grahanam here is perception. Perception of sound means hearing the sound. Ears are meant to hear the sound. Tvachaha vishaya sparshagrahanam. Sparshagrahana is perceiving the touch. So perception of the touch is a function of twak, the sense organs of touch, the skin. Chakshushaha vishayaha rupagrahanam. Perceiving the form of an object is a function, is the object of eyes. Eyes are meant to see the form. Color also is included. Rasanayaha vishayaha. So rasagrahanam. Rasagrahana is tasting. Tasting is the function of sense of taste, the tongue. Granasya vishayaha gandhagrahanam. The object or the function of sense of smell is perceiving the odor. It can be fragrant, it can be foul, but both are smelled, perceived by the nose, sense of smell. So this is how the functions or the objects of five sense organs, jnanendriyas, were enumerated. Now, what are the karmendriyas? What are their deities? What are their functions? They are being enumerated. Read.
वाक् पाणी पाद पायुः पायु उपस्थानी इति पंचकर्मेन्द्रियाणि.
So these are the five karmendriyas, five organs of action. What are they? Vak, organ of speech. Pani, hands, organ that seizes, gets hold of something. Pada, organ of walking, locomotion. Payu, payu is anus, organ of excretion. Upastha is genital, organ of generation, procreation. These are five karmendriyas, organs of action. Now, what are their deities? Vachaha devata vandi. The devata, the presiding deity of vak, sense of speech, is Vani, Agni Devata. Agni Devata. So that's why to speak some warmth is necessary. That's why they say people in the tropical countries like India, where heat is there, they are more talkative than the Westerners, where it is more cold. You can find it. The very severe winter, you don't feel like talking. means that principle of fire has got something to do with the speech. Vachaha devata vannihi hastayoho indraha. The presiding deity of hands is Indra. You may say, how do you know all these things? Vedas. Is something apaurusheya, beyond the realm or the range of buddhi, human intellect. Only Veda, which is the pramana, means of knowledge, jnana sadhana, for things that are atindriya, imperceptible in nature. So Vedas say all this. So Vachaha Devata Vannihi. Again, here not same fire, presiding deity fire. Hastayoho Indra. Indra, Devendra, the king of the Devatas. We can't say king of gods, Devatas. Otherwise that word God gets confused. Hastayoho Indra, Indra. Padayoho Vishnu. The presiding deity of feet is Vishnu. Vishnu. Upasthasya Prajapati, the presiding deity of Upastha, that is genital, is deity Prajapati. Now, Payoho Mrityu, one more. Before, after Vishnu, Padayo Vishnu, Payoho Mrityu. The presiding deity of Payu, anus, is Mrityu, the deity of death, maybe Yamaraja. Upasthasya Prajapati. Prajapati is the presiding deity, Adhishtan Devata of genital. Iti Karmendriya Devata. These are the five Devatas, Adhishtan Devata, presiding deity of Karmendriya, organs of action. Now, what is their function? What is their object? They are enumerated one by one. Vachoho Vishaya Bhashanam. The Vishaya object or the function of organ of speech is to speak. Bhashanam, speaking. Panyoho Vishaya Vastugrahanam. The function, the object of hands, two hands, is Vastugrahanam. Seizing, holding, or grasping a thing. You hold by the hand. Padayoho Vishaya Gamanam. The function of legs is walking, moving, walking. Payoho Vishaya Malatyaga. The function of organ of excretion is excretion, Malatyaga, throwing away the feces. Upastasya Vishaya Anandaha. The function or the object of upastha, generically ananda of procreation. So with this, the Sukh Sharira with its constants, presiding deities and functions are over. That description is over. Sthula Sharira was described, Sukh Sharira was described. In this order now remains Karana Sharira or causal body, the cause of both gross and subtle bodies. Karana Shariram Kim? Question is, what is that Karana Sharira? Causal body. Read.
अनिर्वाच्य अनादि अविद्या रूपम शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं स्वरूपाज्ञानं निर्विकल्पक रूपं यत् अस्ति तत् कारण शरीरम.
This is what that causal body is. Yadasti tat karana. Whatever that is of this nature, whatever that is of such description, that is causal body. What is that description? Anirvacha anadyavidya rupa. Its nature is avidya, ignorance. Ignorance of what? Self-ignorance. Ignorance of our true nature. Ignorance of our true nature. So, and as a result of that, ignorance of the nature of Jagat, ignorance of who Ishvara Paramatma is. So it is in the form of ignorance. And it is something which is anirvacha, which cannot be defined, which cannot be categorically said to be of such and such nature in terms of it is or it is not. Avidya is there. Avidya is not there. You cannot specify accurately before. If it is there, it should be all the time there, which is not there. It gets ended. Then it is not there. If you say it is not there, its effect should not be seen. But we do see the effect of avidya in terms of our sorrowful samsara. Therefore, avidya you cannot say is, avidya, ignorance, self-ignorance, you cannot say is not, and therefore it cannot be defined as is, it cannot be defined as is not, that is different from is and is not, different from sat and asat. Sat here is the sense of existent, isness. Asat, non-existent, that is not. You cannot categorically define as is or is not. Sadasadbhyam bhinnatva. Being distinct and different from both Sat, existing entity, Asat, non-existing entity. Therefore, it is called what? Inexplicable. that which cannot be defined as is or is not. So that's why Anirvacha, which defies all definitions or description. Avidya Rupam, Anirvacham, Anadi. It is something which always is so long as Brahman is. It is not something produced from some cause. Adi, both cause and beginning. These two are not there for avidya. You can't say ignorance, self-ignorance was born of something. You can't say Brahman. From Brahman, nothing is born. But its effect is seen. So you can't say it is not. So therefore it is something anadi, which has no cause, no beginning, no birth. It can get destroyed. Avidya Rupam. It is a form of ignorance of our true nature. Our true nature is ever existence principle, Sat, the only knowledge principle, Chit, and itself is Paramananda Swarupa, limitless happiness. Will you accept this? If someone comes and tells you are like this, you raise your eyebrows. You don't know. How is it possible? I'm suffering. That is what avidya is. I don't know. Avidya. So it is a form of self-ignorance. And this is the cause for gross and subtle body. Sharira dvayasya karana matram. It's the cause of both bodies, gross and subtle. Satsvarupa jnanam. We have seen this. The author says it is ajnana, ignorance of Satsvarupa, that our true nature is Satchidananda. Ignorance of our true nature. And Nirvikalpaka Rupam. In that, where Karashira, Vikalpa, Veda, distinction, duality is not there. So, Nirvikalpa, Yadasti, water entity which is like this. Anirvacha, Anadi, Avidya, Sharidvayasa Karana, and Ajnana Satsvarupa, Nirvikalpa. Actually, in our deep sleep state, we are exclusively abiding in Karana Sharira to the total exception of subtle body, Sukh Sharira, and gross body, Sthula Sharira. Whereas in the waking, not only gross body is there, function of Karana Sharira and Sukh Sharira are there. In the dream, function of gross body is not there. Function of Karma Sharira and Sukh Sharira is there. In sleep, exclusive state of Karma Sharira, gross and subtle bodies are not there at all. That's why it is Nirvikalpa. In waking and dream, Vikalpa, Veda, dualities are there. In sleep, it is not there. So that is what Karana Sharira or causal body. So gross body, subtle body, causal body, these three are described. With the help of this, we are able to know our what exactly is the nature of our three states of consciousness. Every day, from birth to death, we undergo avasthatraya, three states of consciousness. One is waking state of consciousness. Second, dream state of consciousness. Third is deep sleep state of consciousness. Consciousness principle, the animating principle, the pure awareness principle, the knowledge principle in each and every one of us undergoes three states. So what are they? Will be described now. Avasthatrayam kim. So what are those three states of consciousness? They are Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupta Avastha. Jagrat Avastha, waking state of consciousness. Why you bring consciousness? We are conscious of it. Swapna Avastha, dream state of consciousness. Then Sushupti, the deep sleep state of consciousness. So these are the three avasthas, states of consciousness that we undergo. Now, what is this waking state? Jagrad avastha ka. What you mean by waking state of consciousness? Read.
श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयैः च ज्ञायते इति यत् सा जागृदावस्था.
यत्सा जागृत अवस्था. अच्छा, there is a separate tick. श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयैश्च ज्ञायते यत् सा जागृत अवस्था. This is waking state of consciousness. What is it? Wherein, so we know this way. What is that? We know things, Vishayas. What are those? Shabdadi. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sound, touch, form, taste, smell, and combination of them. So these are the five sense stimuli. And how are they known? Shrotradi Jnanendriya. By sense organs or organs of perception, such as ear, touch, eyes, taste, and nose. Nyayate iti. Yatsa. The state wherein you perceive the world through the sense organs, eyes, etc. Means presence of a sense organ is necessary. Why is it said so? Because in dream also you hear, you touch, you see, you taste, you smell, but your jnanendriyas are not there functioning. There, whatever you perceive is without jnanendriya. In the waking, whatever you perceive is through jnanendriya. That is why in the waking state perception, there is vividness. It is more clear. Whereas dream perception is not that clear, somewhat hazy. So there, jnanendriyas are absent, means not functioning. In the waking, they are present, they are functioning. So therefore, that is what avastha is, a waking state, avastha. Then comes the one who identifies with the waking state consciousness. I see, I hear, I taste, I touch, I smell, I move, I speak. Who is that? He is called what you say as waker consciousness. In Vedanta, there's a word for it. Let us see. Read.
स्थूल शरीराभिमानी आत्मा विश्वः इति उच्यते.
Atma, I, who is Abhimani, identified with Sthula Sharira. Me, identified with gross body, is called what? Vishwa. We are familiar with this word Vishwa as Jagat, the world. But Vishwa also means one who undergoes varied types of experiences. Vividha pratyaya gamyatva. Undergoes varieties of experiences. So that is called Vishwa. So he is who? Me, in the sense Chaitanya, pure consciousness, identified with the gross body in the sense. Chaitanya, me, mistaking the gross physical body as I. So that is what is Sula Sharirabhimani Atma. Atma here you simply take as I. Whatever we refer as I, we mistake it to be gross body. What is true I? That is the purpose of this text. That is the goal of our life. What the true I is. In the knowledge of true I, there is no room for samsara. All that we discover ourselves to be limitless ananda, totally free from sorrow and free from causes of sorrow. So Vishwa, the waker consciousness, one who is identified with the gross body. Now, what is the dream state? Jagrata Avastha, waking state was discussed. What is the dream state? Continue.
स्वप्नावस्था का इति चेत् जागृत अवस्थायां यत् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तत् जनित वासनया निद्रा समये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था।
Swapnavastha ka iti chet. Iti chet. If so, means ka iti chet. If you ask, what is Swapnavastha? What is the dream state of consciousness? If you ask so, here is the answer. What is that? Jagrat avasthayam yadrishtam. Whatever you have seen in the waking state of consciousness, yashrutam, whatever that you hear in the waking state of consciousness, these are two words indicating whatever you perceive in the waking state of consciousness. So, based on all that you perceive or experience during the waking state of consciousness, Shrutam Tad Janita Vasanaya. By the vasana, by the samskara, by the subtle impressions left on the antakarana, by whatever that we perceive during the waking state, vasana, nidra samaye, while asleep, means you have withdrawn yourself from your active preoccupation in the outside world. You are no more using eyes, ear, nose, tongue, touch for perception of the world. So that is how where it is. Nidra samaye yah prapanchaha pratiyate. Whatever jagat is experienced, pratiyate, experience. Swa, sa, swapnavastha, is a state of dream. It's like this. From waking state, you withdraw yourself, go to sleep. There, what is said is ardha vikasa. The mind becomes not fully active, but to some least extent, it becomes active. That state. By the samskara, nidra samaye, in sleep. So whatever prapancha pratiyate, what is the world that is experienced, sa swapnavastha, that is swapnavastha, the state of dream, state of dream. And who is the one who undergoes this state of dream state? Continue.
सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजसः इति उच्यते।
Atma, I, Chaitanya, Sukshma Sharirabhimani, identified with the subtle body, mind, intellect, is called what? Taijasa. Taijasa means luminous, in the sense. In dream, only knowledge of the dreamt world is there. But unlike waking state, external concrete gross things are not there. If you see an elephant in the dream, there is no concrete elephant corresponding to what you dream. But in the waking, yes. You see elephant, there is an actual elephant is there. So therefore, in the dream, that only the knowledge aspect is there. That is called brilliance of knowledge principle. It's called Taijasaha Uchyati. With this, Sthula Sharira, this waking state of consciousness, one who undergoes that, dream state of consciousness, one who undergoes the dreamer over now. The question is, what is the deep sleep state of consciousness? So that is Sushuptavastha ka. What is the deep sleep state of consciousness? I think we know better, no? How many have already gone to sleep now? You know what it is. So let us keep it next time. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री